hopefully our signal is going to hold out. If it doesn't work, we are going to have to delay this a little bit. But at a birthday party. So we make it work however we can. Live with my mom. Hopefully she's not frozen. If you're watching, if you can put some comments in here telling us that you can see and hear us both, that would be amazing. We are live with my mom, Barbara Postman, also known as Nai, and she is the founder of Movement Moments. And Mom, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yes. Okay, great. Awesome. So tell us a little bit about Movement Moments, about you, how it started.
Okay, well, first let me thank you, Robin, for trying to do this through thick and thin, rain and snow and sleet and all that stuff. She's at a birthday party and is having to use her hotspot phone, and it's not working so well. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna get it through. So I've always been interested in movement and did was a yoga teacher and other things and studied all kinds of movement paths. And as I got older and had issues and I tried different things, I came up with a solution for myself for ongoing mobility, maintenance of mobility, and getting stronger rather than weaker as we get older, because of our sedentary lifestyle and how we all sit too much. If you don't do something about it, then as you get older, you're going to lose the ability to do the things you want. And that's my goal, has been to be able to participate in things with my children and grandchildren and be independent as long as possible and get stronger rather than weaker as I get older. So Movement Moments is based on things that one can do when they're doing, most of the time, when they're doing something else. So you fit it into your life, you stack your life, you do it while you're doing something else. These little things seem small, but they're actually very big in terms of their impact. Because if you think about it, if you do something every day, every time you do something that you link it to, for example, every time you're standing in line, or every time you're waiting for the microwave to ding, or every time you have sneak in a moment, that's a lot of repetitions, even though it's something very small. And it also builds awareness of how you're moving all the time, because really it's what you're doing all day that's the most important thing, not what you're doing. What you're doing for half an hour or 45 minutes of working out is great and important, but it doesn't compare to the impact of what you do the whole rest of the 23 hours or 18 hours that you're awake and sitting or using your phone, and all the things that we do that are treating our body not the way the body would like to be treated. So anyway, enough of that. I have a confession to make about today. We talked about this last week. It's not really a movement moment. That this particular thing I want to talk about is how to use massage balls to help relieve tension and pain that you might have, and to deal with soreness. And it really isn't exactly the same as fitting it in while you're doing something else. For this, you really have to dedicate yourself to doing this while you're doing it. But it doesn't take a long time, and it has a lot of payoff. And what I'm using is something called a yoga tune-up ball. And I posted a link last week. I'll post it again on where you can get these. But you can use, you can buy these pinky balls in the store that bounce high. It's about the size of a tennis ball. You can use a tennis ball. Tennis ball isn't great because it sort of it doesn't pop back out. It just like bends. But it's better. It's a lot better than nothing, and it'll do. Some people say use lacrosse balls, but lacrosse balls are very hard. I don't recommend that. The harder isn't necessarily better. These things have some give to them, and they're grippy. And they come as a set of two, and they come in this little bag, which holds them together. But again, if you don't have this, all you have to do is take two balls, even if they're tennis balls, and put them in a sock and tie the sock, and you've got the same thing. So
the ball should be the same.
The ball should be the same size, right? So you want two balls of the same size. You can start out with tennis balls. There's the very minimum of investment. If you don't have tennis balls, then you might as well go and buy a couple of pinky balls, or buy these online. They're like $12 with the tote, and it also comes with a little. And there's a lot of online tips on how to use them. So, and there's other manufacturers that make these, and they might even be cheaper. I haven't looked. So basically, what I'm going to show you today is common places in your neck and shoulders, which everybody, we're sitting and we're crunched up, and how many times are we sitting up like this? So, and the other thing that I want to repeat about the awareness, once you start working with the balls or start working with fitting moments in, you start catching yourself while you're driving or while you're standing that, oh my God, I have my shoulders up here. Why do I do that? We just do it. We do it so much without thinking. And once you start thinking about that, just releasing that, or as you've been sitting at the computer for a little while, if you just take a moment, release your shoulders and relax, it's amazing what that can do. And this is good for headaches. It even helps migraines for a lot of people. So I'm also using a yoga block, which again, you don't have to have this. Here's another, I found just a book. It's an old one that was sitting around. It's about the same size. So you can use that. So I will use that just to show you that you can. And I'll have to talk loudly enough and get the camera. See, how's that?
Hey, Max.
Okay, I'm going to do the first one. I'm going to take, can you see this? I'm going to take the ball and put it right at the top of your shoulder here. And I'm going to do it, both of the balls together. And you could place it vertically for starters. And then use the, in this case, you're going to use the block under your hips, the book, under your hips. And if that's too high, if that hurts too much, then you don't have to use it on your hips. So you basically lie back and you lift yourself up so that you drive your shoulder blade into the ball. Now, this is going to feel either really great or a little bit like it's, the massage that hurts good. Can you hear me and see me? Are we okay? Okay, so then you sit on a spot and you find something that feels like it's tight or it feels like it hurts good, and you take some deep breaths. And I'm not going to just stay a long time, but it's good if you stay like to the count, even a half a minute or something, and breathe deeply into that ball. And then after you've sat there for like a half a minute or so, then move your arm around in different ways and you'll feel different sensations in that same place. You move your arm around up and down and so on, back and forth. And then you can change the position of the ball a little bit and find a better spot or a worse spot, whichever way you want to call it, that really has some pent up tension. And you lean on it and you're releasing it, and moving your arms around is very good because that, intensifies and gets the circulation going. So what you're doing is and it doesn't have to, as I said, the ball doesn't have to be real hard. And if anything really hurts you, just change the spot. Don't use that spot. Do what's comfortable for you, but enough so that you feel like it's getting to points. You'll find your own points that will be the ones that really make a difference. So that's the first section that you do that to. I'm not going to do both sides right now because I don't want to take the time. So then the next thing you can do is you put the ball right about here, straddling your spine. You don't put it on your spine. You put it so the ball is each ball is on either side of your spine. And again, you lean back. You don't want to, this isn't your lower back. We're talking about your upper back here. You put your hips on it and you find a spot and you lean back and you breathe. And this feels great. And again, you move your arms like this, up and down and to the side, so that you're getting the muscle to work at the same time that it's being massaged. And then you could move up. I won't do the up, but you just find the different spots along the way. And then third and last but not least, because this is the most delicious of them all, you put the ball right here. So again, straddling your cervical spine, your neck, and you put it on here, and you lean back. Again, be sure to breathe, and you find the spot, and then you tilt your head to one side, and then you nod up and down, and then you go to the other side. I'm doing this much more rapidly than you should do it for the sake of time, and you go up and down. This feels absolutely fabulous. And take a deep breath and lie here. And this is great to do before you go to bed because it's totally relaxing. But it's also very good to do if you've been working. Let's say you have a big project and you're in the middle of the project and you want to take a break. You can hunch over your computer or your phone for like an hour and you do this. It's just like amazing. Okay, that's the 3 things with the ball. But the one more thing, if you don't have to do this right before you go to bed, but if it's really good to activate those same muscles after you've done those kinds of massages. So the last thing is, let me see, is you get on your hands and knees and then you put your elbows down on the floor. And what you're trying to do is pull your hands towards you at the same time, not really moving them, but just activate the shoulder. Don't arch your back. You want to keep your back straight and you want to move so that you feel your shoulder blades moving down your back. This takes a little practice, but what you're doing is you're activating these muscles here and you're pulling them down on your back. You can do the same thing just standing here and doing that too. You're not sticking your chest out at all. This is all the movement is in the back, not in the front, and your lower back is not tilting, you're not curling your lower back. So that will activate those same muscles that you just massaged, which will help keep them loose and will help what you're working on. Well, I hope that was a lot.
That was, but that's great. I can't wait to try that this evening. I actually don't have those balls and I need to get some. I have other balls, but.
Yeah, well, they're really worth it. I mean, they're not expensive, and they're just there's so many places you can use them on your hips. If you have sore knees, there's just so many. Lots of people use foam rollers, and foam rollers are good, but these can really get exactly in spaces that are feeling particularly stuck. And the key things are: make sure to breathe deeply. Do it slowly and stay on the balls long enough until you feel something sort of release. Like 3 seconds won't do it. It's got to be, a full minute is great if you have a full minute, but if you don't have to do a full minute. But it's just don't rush through it. Just do one of those things if you don't have a lot of time. Don't try to do all 3 and do them for a short period of time. So any questions? Let me hear from you guys.
Yeah, if anybody's watching, hopefully the signal's still holding out. If you can hear and see us, you can drop your questions in there. If you haven't given StreamYard permission, we won't see your name, but we can sure see your question. But thank you so much, Mom. I love that. My neck and shoulders are definitely ready for some more love. That's a great reminder. Love it. Well, thank you, everybody, also for jumping on. This has been fun. I know it's a slightly different thing that you don't necessarily incorporate into your day doing other things, but it's so important. I know that there's always a time watching TV in the evening or laying down, Now, Mom, one question, is this something a person can do while they are in bed before they go to sleep?
You can. The biggest issue with being in bed, and I try to do it in bed, but the bed's so soft that you're not going to get as much pressure from the balls. The one I use with the block, if you have a block and you put it in bed, I do that too. That you can definitely get the pressure from the balls. So I have these also come in a larger set. They come in several sizes, and I have the larger ones, which are big, because they're bigger, I take them to bed sometimes and I do that. But if you're creative about it, you can think about something in your day that you do that you really don't have to do, no matter how busy we are. There's that, that extra 5 minutes you take to look at that Instagram feed, for example, or check your email for the umpteenth time. Just commit for that for like a week to doing, or 3 times a week to doing this instead, and watch what happens.
Yeah, great point. Great point. Thank you so much, Mom, as always.
Well, thank you, Robin, for trying hard. I mean, she had to bring her computer to the birthday party, Sage's friend's birthday party, and sit out in the car. that it's called staying power, persistence.
Well, we're grateful for technology and the option to just really work from anywhere, right? That's
Exactly, exactly, exactly.
Allows us the flexibility to do it, and we're really glad we can come to you every week. I know we had a break last week because of Easter, but there's so many things. We're getting busier. I know one thing I want to encourage people to do, if you haven't seen all these episodes, every week except for last week, which was Easter, we go through, we have an episode. And as we get into spring and people are getting more active and people are getting outside more, you might feel yourself getting a little sore. And there are a lot of different things that we've talked about over the last several months that can really help you kind of unwind and be less sore from some of those things. So I would encourage you to look back on some previous episodes if you haven't seen them all, or if you need a reminder. And I just want to thank everybody for watching. If you know anybody who needs this or might want to check out the rest of them, just tag them in it, or you can share this. And of course, as always, we love to hear your feedback. So any questions, comments, you can drop your comments here or message either one of us. So thanks, Mom, as always, for jumping on and providing such great tips to keep us going.
Okay, everybody. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a great
week. Thanks, Robin.
Bye, everyone. Okay, so I think we're still live and the connection is weaker, so it's taking a minute to end it.